Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever found yourself stuck on that classic riddle? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Or maybe you've tangled with the mind-bending grandfather paradox of time travel. You know, if you go back and kill your grandpa before your dad's born, poof, you're gone. So who did the killing? It's the kind of puzzle that can keep you up at night, right? Well, today we're diving into a movie that takes these brain twisters to a whole new level. It's called Predestination, a film that left me speechless the first time I saw it and still has me hooked on every rewatch. Some argue the titles don't align perfectly, but stick with me, you'll see how they make sense by the end. Here's what makes Predestination so wild. It sidesteps the grandfather paradox entirely by weaving a story where the protagonist is their own lover, parent, child, and enemy, all wrapped up in one insane, self-contained loop. Think of it like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, a perfect circle of existence. Curious yet? You should be. Let's dive into this mind-blowing tale, and afterward I'll unpack the philosophy and logic that make it tick. But first, let's set the stage. The movie kicks off with a heart-pounding moment. A trench-coated man strides into a 1975 New York building, carrying two cases, one's tech, the other's no violin. Downstairs, he hears a chilling tick-tick-tick, a massive bomb. He springs into action, deploying a blast shield, but just as the timer hits 6 seconds, an attacker lunges. They grapple, the bomb explodes inside the shield, and the man's face is scorched. In agony, he reaches for the second case. A shadowy figure steps from the smoke, hands it to him, and barely conscious, he activates it, vanishing into air. He wakes up bandaged in a sterile room, surrounded by familiar notes. He's back at the Temporal Bureau, TBR, his base. His bosses drop by with a medal and bad news. His hunt for the fizzle bomber is done. This was his closest shot yet, but the burns and mental strain mean retirement. Tech gives him a new face, though his voice is wrecked. Changed so much. I doubt my own mother would recognize me, he quips darkly, a line that hits harder later. But there's one last job, a 1970s bar. Posing as a bartender, he waits for his mark. John, Sarah Snook, a gruff guy in a cap who writes as the unmarried mother for a women's magazine. The bartender's a fan, surprised John's a guy. They strike a deal, a story for a drink. John's tale starts in 1945. Left as a baby named Jane at an orphanage, she grows up smart but alone, a fighter. Recruited for a secretive space program, a TBR front, she shines until a brawl leads to a physical. Shock hits. Jane's intersex with undeveloped male organs and functional female ones. She's out of the program. Crushed, she takes nanny gigs and night classes. One rainy night, a charming stranger sweeps her off her feet. They bond over Lincoln quotes, and she falls hard, breaking the program's chastity rule. He vows to return. Then disappears. Gutted, Jane gets a second chance from recruiter Robertson, Noah Taylor, who reveals TBR seeks unique, rootless souls like her. Hope flickers until she learns she's pregnant. Disqualified again, she chooses the baby. In a charity hospital, birth brings more pain. Complications force out her female organs. Doctors push her to embrace her male side. Her daughter is her only joy until the baby's snatched weeks later. Suspecting a vanished lover, but helpless, Jane transitions. After brutal surgery and recovery, John emerges, wrestling with a new self and old wounds. He lands in New York, writing as the unmarried mother to process it all. John wins his drink, burning with hate for the man who ruined Jane. The bartender dangles a deal. What if I put him in front of you? Guarantee you walk free after killing him. The catch, take his job. He reveals he's TBR like Robertson and opens the case, a time machine. Target, 1963, the night Jane met the bastard. John, with nothing left, agrees. Gun in hand, suspecting the guy's the fizzle bomber, he's sent back. John arrives, waits, and spots Jane. The truth slams him. He's the bastard. Driven by self-love and pity for his lonely past self, he becomes the charming stranger. They fall in love. The bartender watches, fixated on hunting the bomber, not stopping this twist. Breaking orders, the agent jumps to March 1970, the opening bomb night. He catches the bomber planting it. A chase, a fight, he's overpowered. The blast injures his past self. As past agent claws for the time machine, present agent hands it over, ensuring his escape to 1992 for treatment. He grabs a timer fragment, a lead. Next stop, 1964, a safe house. He records notes, telling his future self to buy clothes. Already in the closet, Robertson arrives, takes the fragment, scolds his rule-breaking, noting mental strain, but oddly praises his grit. Then, a key task. The agent jumps to Jane's hospital post-birth, steals the baby, and leaps to 1945, leaving her at the orphanage. Jane's her own daughter. The loop tightens. Back to June 1963, the agent finds John, now deep in love with Jane himself. John's furious, heartbroken by the setup. He loves her. The agent's cold. Some things can't be changed. John sees his fates tied to TBR and this man. He joins, leaving Jane behind to become the agent. A 22-year jump to 1985 knocks John out. Robertson thanks the agent. John will save lives. The agent mourns failing to nab the bomber. Robertson's cryptic. The bomber made them stronger, grew the TBR. It's never that simple. Retired, the agent picks 1975 New York, the Fizzle bomber's big attack day. He hits the time machine's deactivation button. It fails. Robertson's file on the fragment leads him to a laundromat. There he faces the bomber.
I missed you.
The bomber turns an older, scarred version of himself. He claims his bombing stopped worse tragedies and accuses Robertson of puppeteering them. "Kill me, you become me," he warns, echoing the bartender's deal. "Would you kill him to save thousands?" Torn, the agent fires. Here's the kicker. Jane, John, the agent, and the Fizzle bomber are one person, cycling through a fixed timeline. Orphan, lover, parent, child, hero, villain, all the same. No grandfather paradox here, the characters, their own origin, a closed loop. Picture a book already written, every action set, and trying to rewrite it just pens the same story. Predestination bets on a fixed timeline predestination paradox, not parallel worlds. Your past moves were always history. Robertson likely engineered this. As the bomber's chaos built the TBR and birthed the agent, clues pile up. His odd praise for the bomber, the broken time machine still working, the clothes prepped by the recording. It's all connected. The tragedy's haunting. Driven by self-love and self-hatred, bound by fate, they're achingly alone, only truly touching themselves. Every big moment's shaped by their future self, locking them in the Ouroboros. I loved myself. I birthed myself. I hunted myself. I killed myself. Predestination is a gem-tight plotting, deep ideas, and a paradox that actually holds up. With minimal effects, it's one of the boldest, most satisfying time travel tales on screen. A must-see for sci-fi buffs or anyone who loves a good mind twist.
I doubt my own mother would recognize me.
His mother is himself.
Son of a bitch. You been following me?
Again, his mother is himself. Before taking John into the basement, their conversation.
Well, you think I might be the Fizzle bomber?
Maybe.
What if you're the Fizzle bomber?
What if I am?
He is him is the Fizzle bomber.
I'm my own grandpa.
This song really exists. A song released by a niche band is called I'm My Grandfather. It sounds a bit brainwashing, but the more you listen, the more interesting it becomes. Robertson intentionally gave an important clue when the agent retired. TDR actually knew the bomber's background. Much info could be found from a single bomb fragment. His purpose was to make agents keep tracking the bomber until they found their elderly self, kill the bomber, then become the bomber, forming a complete closed loop. Without agents becoming bombers, there would be no current TDR. This also explains why the bomber succeeded across many timelines. So, what did predestination do to your head? Did the twist stun you? How do you vibe with the predestination paradox versus parallel worlds. Share your takes and theories below. I'd love to hear them. Love this breakdown? Smash that like button, it helps a ton. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next dive into sci-fi, film, and big ideas. Thanks for watching, and until next time, ponder your own destiny. Catch you soon.